And a very good afternoon from the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium. It's the final day of competition at this, the 11th edition of the Sultan of Johor Cup. And we have all the medal matches coming your way. But first up, it will be the playoff between New Zealand and Great Britain to decide who will come fifth and who will come sixth. And I can tell you, New Zealand have been sixth a few times. And Great Britain, well, this is the first time they've attended the Sultan of Johor Cup that they have not been playing for a medal. So this is new territory for them, and they will be wanting to make sure that they finish as high as possible. Well, we're going to turn our attention to the team lineups, and first of all, the lineup for New Zealand. And the players I think you need to look out for, because I think this game is going to be won in the midfield, and the key players, I believe, are going to be Patrick Ward, the likes of Daniel Tor, who've been really good of late, Sam Lintz, and also I think Aiden Bax is looking, he's been threatening throughout the tournament for a goal, and I just think it's only a matter of time, and maybe tonight is his night. But certainly Irwin and Parr were really good in the last outing for New Zealand, so too James Hickson. So it's a day when New Zealand's going to hope they can put it all together and get a big result against Great Britain. Turning our attention to Great Britain, and again, my focus is on very much the midfield. I think Tom Morehouse is going to be crucial. So too Lewis Wiltshire. Just he sits in front of the defensive line, and again, his passing can be outstanding. Ellis Robson, for me, has been really one of their best players. He's just run himself pretty much into the ground. Max Anderson, the captain, has led from the back. And the other player I think that has really stepped up is Matthew Hewson. And again, he, to me, is going to be crucial if Great Britain are going to get over the line tonight. Our umpires for this match, in their last game too, are from Germany, Ole Ingversen, and from Malaysia, Muhammad Ismadi Alib. And hopefully they have a good last outing as well and have no problems down on the pitch. Of course, this is a tournament where we see the up-and-coming umpires and see which ones hopefully are going to then go on and be umpiring the major international games down the track. Must admit, I've been very impressed with the Malaysian umpires during this tournament. Well, just announcing the teams, and over to our left, New Zealand still in a huddle with their coach. Great Britain have lined up already, and they are ready to go out. Just noticing that Jacob Payton is wearing a different shoe on each foot. Now, I'm not quite sure why that is, and I didn't notice him doing it previously. He may well have done, but just something I've noticed tonight. I'm not quite sure what the reason is. Maybe he's got a blister or something. But I can tell you for New Zealand fans that Luke Aldred will not be playing in this match. If you were with us before, he took a blow to the jaw. He had 4 stitches in it, I believe, and yesterday went for x-rays at the hospital, and they have found a fracture just below his tooth. So apparently it's going to be about 2 weeks to 3 weeks to heal. The good news from the New Zealand camp is that he will still be okay for the Junior World Cup, but obviously he's just got to rest that and make sure that he doesn't cause any more injury. And the concern was, if he just caught by an elbow, he would have done himself more damage. Well, the two captains have shaken hands. A pennant has been handed to New Zealand. And now the umpires will lead the players out in what will be their final game before the World Cup. As I mentioned, Great Britain, the only team here not contesting the World Cup, because they compete as England, Scotland, Ireland, or Northern Ireland and Wales. And unfortunately, none of those countries qualified for the World Cup. So Great Britain, of course, competes at the Olympic Games, but not at World Cups. So the players will line up along the centre line, as has become the tradition. Was that a big yawn I saw from Lewis Wiltshire? Maybe a nervous yawn. Anyway, the first national anthem will be the national anthem of New Zealand. Great Britain fooled by the second verse. New Zealand not falling for it again. But now it will be the national anthem of Great Britain. And now we will have the coin toss, but I'm not sure how many of you noticed at the end of the New Zealand line, the goalkeepers didn't stand together. A really nice touch to see the two brothers, John T. Elms and his brother Luke, standing side by side as the national anthem played. Special moment for those two, especially as they play for different clubs in New Zealand, so it makes it a little bit different. But I can tell you they had a raffle as a fundraiser to get here to be able to compete in the Sultan of Johor. Some pretty good prizes in it too, and I think they've already drawn that. And should mention that Aidan Bax's club, McLeod United Men's Hockey Club, they had a dinner to fundraise for him, and that looked like it was a really special event as well. So great to see the clubs getting behind these young players to ensure that they can compete on the international stage, when obviously the National Association's funds are very limited. Well, both teams go into their final huddle. If I haven't told you already, I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to sharing all of the action on this final day of the Sultan of Johor Cup 2023. It's been a fantastic tournament this time around. The first time they've ever had 8 teams, and I think the feedback is everybody likes it, because every game is important. You can't afford to drop your first game because it puts you under pressure. And certainly for the teams heading to the World Cup, it's been perfect preparation for them. Final high fives from all the Great Britain players. New Zealand are ready and raring to go. Starting under the bar for New Zealand will be Hayden Ganley. Starting in goal for Great Britain will be Callum Douglas, who also has his brother playing. And his brother also wears the number 19, just as John T. Elms does, and that is Ali Douglas. Sure, that's just a pure coincidence. So Gus Nelson over the ball, waiting to get things underway. The umpires have got the signal from the side, and New Zealand push back in this 5th and 6th place playoff, and a gremlin in the pitch there as it just bobbled away from Fraser. Aidan Fraser, who's been Mr. Consistent at the back for New Zealand alongside their captain Ben Culhane. Penrose thought about going to Wiltshire, but it's good pressure being applied. Wiltshire goes forward, feeds it to Ellis Robson. Robson will come back. Penrose again, throws it to the air. It's missed by all of the Great Britain players and then allowed to run through by Patrick Ward. Well, both these teams have conceded 12 goals in the tournament. New Zealand have scored 10, Great Britain have scored 12. So make of that what you may. I think it'll mean that it's going to be a fairly even encounter. Culhane. Fraser made absolutely sure he got that one under control. Comes wide to Irwin. Irwin, nice little jink inside, took him away from Markham. It's a good pass forward. It's stolen, but illegally that time by Ellis Robson. New Zealand into the circle, turning well, running towards goal. Through the legs it goes, and the opening goal is scored by Jordan Whittleston. And that is Whittleston's first of the tournament. The man from New Plymouth High. Well, they'll be celebrating in Taranaki, I can assure you of that. He's the only man from that region in the team. And basically he just turned inside the circle, advanced towards goal, and the Great Britain defence just evaporated. So basically 2.5 minutes gone, and New Zealand take the lead. Jordan Whittleston with his first goal of the Sultan of Johor Cup. And I'm sure that'll be one that he will remember for a long time. Stone thought he'd won the free hit, but the umpire's arm gives the decision to New Zealand. It's back to Culhane. Fraser put under pressure. Peyton working hard, the man with the odd shoes. Oh, and slipping as he tried to receive that was Patrick Ward. Always amazes me how these guys are not only great athletes but also seem to do very well at school. You've got Harry Stone, who was head boy at Repton, and you've got Patrick Ward, who was vice head boy at King's High School in New Zealand. And they also won the Ranking Cup in 2019 when he was part of that team. Ellis Robson, nice turn from him. Just starts to advance away from Tor. Good recovery though by Tor, but the free hit goes to Great Britain. Wiltshire now. Very accurate pass from him. Nice turn as well into the circle from Sturch Hibbert. Sturch Hibbert lays it back, and Great Britain have got an equaliser. Harry Markham, Johnny on the spot, makes it 1-1. And Markham will be very happy about that. He scored the marksman, and he has got another goal for Great Britain. And that is his third, and makes him the leading scorer now for Great Britain. And would you believe we've still not even had 4 minutes elapse. So 2 goals within a minute. Great Britain with the perfect response. Good work again being done by the tall, rangy Sturch Hibbert. Plays for the Wimbledon Hockey Club. So Harry Markham, a product of Radley School in Oxford. I remember playing against them in my younger days. Nice deflection forward that time from Nelson. Trying to come in from the side. That was a superb tackle being made by Max Anderson. Anderson again then gets a free hit for his side. Max Anderson, wearing the captain's armband, was the beneficiary of the Mary Peters Trust and Hughes Insurance bursary about a year or so ago. Of course, Lady Mary Peters won pentathlon gold at the 1972 Olympic Games. Here come New Zealand again. Across the face of goal. Was that up off a foot? No, it wasn't, says the umpire. Good work again by James Hickson, though. Stolen again by New Zealand. This time it's Koslet. Koslet gets the free hit. Over the ball he goes, takes a touch, and then plays it back to the captain, Culhane. Culhane wins another free hit for his side, just outside the 23-metre line. He'll come wide to Fraser now. Now out onto the left-hand side. And it's good work once more inside the circle from Nelson. But then Nelson apparently either rolled up his arm, up the stick and onto his arm, I think is what the umpire was signalling there. So a little bit unfortunate. Comes wide now for Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse's shaped to go high, and then it's a good tackle again by Whittleston. And the shot on the reverse stick that time coming from Sam Lintz, but over the crossbar it went. Lintz has been really lively of late. And of course Sam Lintz would have a link to Great Britain in that his dad, Alan, actually served on the Great Britain Olympic Hockey Board for a while when they were living in the UK. and that's just gone wide again. I think Lintz did get a touch on that. The umpire certainly felt that. Just missed in the air, but eventually got under control by Patrick Ward. And that's just kicked away as it bounced from Aidan Bax. Bax, I think, was the one who was probably more annoyed with himself in that he should have probably got that under control. Harry Stone brings this one down for Great Britain. Impeding that time coming back was Hickson. It will be another free hit to Great Britain just inside the 23 this time around. Hewson over the ball, plays it back to Spreckley. Spreckley, who's one of the players that has really impressed me in this tournament. Started at 13 at the Letchworth Hockey Club. And also played for the Hertfordshire under-14s when he was playing for them. Hewson goes back to Penrose. Comes wide now to Morehouse. Spreckley will receive again. Looks for a run from Robson down the line, but Robson was just a little bit late arriving. Now he's going to get the ball, though, probably when he didn't expect it. Goes back to Robson along the baseline, tries to fire it across the goal, and he did well, but New Zealand's defence did even better. It was Coslet who got the touch in front of goal and just played it out. Comes back to Spreckley again. This time he loses out. Bursting forward again is Jonty Elms. Elms, he's got no support. Coming across his Penrose. Elms tries to turn into the circle. Wins a free hit. Did very well with not many options available. Elms has taken that quickly. Feeds it forward now to Hickson. Hickson into the circle. Hickson still going. Hickson's gone past the keeper, but it just caught his foot. And Callum Douglas will be very relieved about that. Douglas came out, got a touch, but I think he was worried about going straight through the ball because there were so many people he was going to concede a penalty corner. Well, Robson gets the decision. I heard a groan from the New Zealand contingent watching. Well, again, Payton collects that. Culhane, had he got it under control? Wiltshire goes back to Ellis Robson. Thought about going down the line, instead goes back to Tom Spreckley. Rory Penrose now. Spreckley again. Robson first times it down the sideline this time. Reverse stick though, lifted high and wide. That was Payton trying to influence play again, Jacob Payton. I believe Jacob Payton, when he was in year 6 at school, he won a flick competition where apparently he got 20 pence for every goal you scored. Big money these hockey players earn, especially when they're young. Irwin, looking to cut infield, does well. Feeds it back to Culhane. That was too far ahead of Fraser. Comes off of Wiltshire's stick, and Lintz thought he'd got it under control, but it just ran away from him. So ball goes back to Great Britain. Spreckley over the ball. Square to Penrose. Penrose throws it out for Robson, and that yorked him on the sideline. Not sure what Ellis Robson's like as a cricketer. So Culhane now. Square to Fraser. Fraser will carry to halfway. In fact, he carries it over, plays it out wide onto the left-hand side. Makes a run forward. Ball doesn't come. It goes back to Culhane. Irwin now. Good lead again coming from Aidan Bax. Bax, I think he took it out over the side. So just getting the bearings wrong. There's 2 balls on the pitch now. Bax will assist Great Britain and get rid of one of those. Penrose throws it to the air, goes over Fraser, but it's brought down in the defensive line by Coslet. And New Zealand moving it well, but that pass was a long way off target, and a little bit frustrated with himself is Matthew Wilson. It was the right idea, he just played it too far away from Dylan Muggleston. As I mentioned, Dylan Muggleston, this would have been a great experience for him because he is of Chinese Malay descent on his mother's side, and I believe has grandparents and other relatives up here in Malaysia. Hopefully they came to watch him play. Morehouse feeds it wide again. Monty Neve goes infield, but it's New Zealand who come up with the ball. Pushed forward, great pass, picking out Sam Lintz. Lintz just holds it up for New Zealand. Well, after a brisk start, we're now in the final 4 minutes of the first quarter. And the first half. Good work by Ryan Parr. Just looking for options and then playing it back into the defensive line. Picked up again by Lintz. Lintz looks to lift it across, and, well, he's got some tall timber in the forward line, so maybe that wasn't such a bad idea. Gus Nelson was jumping up. He could well have deflected that one in from a height. Goes back to Fraser, out onto the left-hand side, but that was a tricky ball for Matthew Wilson to get under control, and it was also a long way behind him. Once again, it is a very warm day, and the flags are hardly moving on the far side of the ground. They're just hanging limply on the flagpoles. So if the pace does slacken a little bit, give the players some slack because the humidity is pretty high. Wiltshire, and he will get the free hit. Stolen away illegally by Jordan Whittleston. Quick pass comes out now to Muggleston for Great Britain. Coslet coming into the space as that was coming down to Sturch Hibbert. So Morehouse rushes forward to take the free hit, plays it out onto the left to Ellis Robson, who just was trying to pull it out of the way as rushing in was Aidan Bax, and then he lost control of it and took it over the sideline. Good pressure again from Bax. That's been really the story of Aidan Bax's performance here. He's done a lot of work, and that's why I said he deserves a goal at some point in the tournament, and hopefully, for his sake today, he may get one. Fraser again, collected well, and a nice turn from James Hickson, slips the ball back. Stolen away by Great Britain. Good work that time by Harry Markham. Thrown to the air, should be brought down, and is brought down by Culhane. Feeds it to Parr, not a good trap by him. Allows Great Britain to steal it. Surging through the middle comes Hewson. Hewson plays it wide now onto the left to Ted Graves. Graves hesitates, then looks to go to the top of the circle. Graves, good run by him. Tried to slip it in the circle. Good defence coming from Irwin. Graves and Irwin have almost done the whole semicircle. And eventually, Graves wins a free hit for Great Britain just outside on the right-hand side. We're into the final minute now. Max Anderson goes back to Penrose again. Elms dropped his stick, and Anderson was looking to take advantage and burst into that space, but Penrose didn't see it. Robson now gets the ball from the side. Goes back to Penrose again. Anderson is aware of the time ticking away. Kept him well down the sideline that time by Morehouse. And I don't think Great Britain are going to get it forward into the circle in time. I think we're going to run out of time unless Penrose, well, he throws it to the air this time, but it's brought down well inside the circle, and a good bit of play coming that time by James Hickson. Culhane just telling them, don't need a hurry. We've only got 10 seconds left, and it'll just kick off the turf, and over the side it'll go, and Great Britain's players already making their way over to the side. So that is the end of the first quarter. A brisk start as we saw a goal to Jordan Whittleston in just the 3rd minute, but immediately Great Britain came back and it was Harry Markham who scored and equalled things up in the 4th minute. So at the first break, it's New Zealand 1, Great Britain 1. Oh, the Great Britain players making their way back out now for this second quarter in this 5th and 6th place playoff. All tied up at 1 apiece. Who will come out on top at the end? Well, we don't know yet, but we will have to wait and see. Will be New Zealand to get the second quarter underway, and I think that was just a nice reminder from Peyton that it was New Zealand with the restart. Back with Fraser, now with Culhane. Ben Culhane, who made his senior debut against Great Britain back in April this year, lost that game as I mentioned, and hate to mention has now got 11 senior caps and lost every game, but he's won a couple here with a victory over Malaysia in the opening game with him as captain, and also against South Africa. No doubt we'll be hoping he can get a 3rd victory. That pass, though, it was a good run from him into the corner, but didn't quite reach him, and now Culhane working back, trying to steal it back for New Zealand. Harry Stone should bring that down with ease, and he does. That's a good tackle by the New Zealand captain. Backs now can push it forward. It's Lintz making a good run. Backs goes infield, though, and has probably lost the opportunity to play it then, but he's won a free hit. Back it comes now to Irwin. Fraser. Wilson. It's broken kindly for New Zealand. Riding in across the face of goal. Backs denied by a brilliant save. Well, that was a superb save by James Carlton. Carlton having come on as Great Britain rotate their goalkeepers. And that's again Aidan Backs, who I said has been unfortunate not to get a goal in this tournament. Culhane keeps it for New Zealand. Goes back to Fraser again. Fraser throws it over. Wilson. Or in fact, that's Coslet, I think. Yes, it is Coslet. So Culhane now with the long corner. Comes across to Irwin on the right-hand side. Fraser again, looking to be closed down. Douglas was the man coming out to close him down. Coslet into the circle. Good save again by Carlton. Positive kick and cleared it over the sideline. The umpire, I think, just having a talking to between Parr and Lewis Wiltshire. They're just getting a little bit maybe physical inside the circle. Comes to Fraser again. Aidan Fraser beats Douglas. Plays it into the circle. Fraser still going. Good touch, though, inside the circle that time from Felix Tully. Wiltshire trying to play it forward. It was won back by Koselit, and this time Tully commits the foul. And complete confusion by New Zealand. Well, Culhane and Fraser, neither were looking at Koselit as he played the pass, and it went between them and out of play. And now New Zealand find themselves defending inside their final third. Nick Nurse over the ball for Great Britain. Goes back to Penrose on halfway. Spreckley. Nurse makes a run to the baseline, but they rotate it onto the right-hand side. Robson now goes on the overlap off the side of the pitch. Penrose has to hurry a little bit there. And that one just again played behind Penrose by Payton. Payton wins it back though for Great Britain. And that, I think, it's a free hit to Great Britain. I thought it just touched the foot, but already a foul had been spotted by the umpire. Morehouse now firing it forward. Did it catch a foot? New Zealand believe it did. So unfortunately, Ali Douglas doesn't get us a chance to show us his wares. Ryan Park, short pass from him to Irwin. Irwin just pulls away from Douglas and goes back to Culhane. Fraser. Koselit again. Irwin. Koselit now on the right-hand side. Fraser has pushed out onto the left and trying to deflect that to him, and he does, is Ward. Good pass to Hickson. Hickson into the circle and allowing that one to run as there was no touch. Good goalkeeping again from James Carlton. James Carlton, a product of Ashcombe School, plays for the Guildford Hockey Club in England. Great Britain again with possession. Comes wide. Played down the line that time by Monty Neve. Sturch Hibbert thwarted at the top of the circle, and a good work again by Fraser, who was appealing for Sturch Hibbert just shielding the ball with his stick. Culhane will bring it down, but look at the defence coming back from Neve. Culhane, though, uses his body well, and Penrose just gives him a little bit of a shove. It'll be a free hit to the Junior Black Sticks just outside the circle. Comes back to Hickson. Wilson now. Hayden Fraser. Throws it high. Robson is there, brings it down. And it'll be a free hit to Great Britain. And as I mentioned, the pace in this game, probably not what some of you might have been expecting, but we are starting, of course, half an hour earlier because we may need to go to a shootout if it's all tied up at full time. And also it is exceedingly warm and there's absolutely no breeze. The flags are literally just hanging on the poles. There's not a flutter in sight. Ward goes back. Fraser again. Wonder how many touches he gets in a game. Good work being done in the forward line by Jonty Elms. Elms into the circle, but can he get it across the face of goal? Long corner won by him. Is this a platform for New Zealand? Comes across to Culhane again. He looks to play it into the circle, but intercepted top of the D by Great Britain. Harry Stone feeds it to Sturch Hibbert. Sturch Hibbert shaped to play it back. He's dispossessed this time by Fraser. And umpire says it hit Fraser's foot, and I think he admits it. That's a great overhead pass. Almost brought down brilliantly by Markham. Markham is along the baseline. It's gone over the baseline. It'll be a long corner. Played on quickly by Morehouse. The ball will probably come back to him. It does. Wiltshire just signalling for it to go back to Rory Penrose. Morehouse again. Goes to the air. Well, the New Zealand player has been deemed to be backing into that space when he brought it down. And of course, this is where, again, there's some conjecture where if you are able to intercept it cleanly, is that okay? According to the umpire, it's not. It is a penalty corner to Great Britain and a good chance for them to take the lead back. They've got 5 penalty corners from 21 penalty corner attempts. Conversion rate of 23%. The tournament conversion rate is 29. It's the lowest it's been on this final day. Comes out Penrose into the first runner. Play on is the call. I mean, the umpire, I think, at the goal end was just looking to halfway for some guidance. Nothing coming from halfway. Payton feeds it to the baseline. Sturch Hibbert, he's got it in. Well, Sturch Hibbert squeezed it somehow past Ganley. And so it is Great Britain 2, New Zealand 1. And Sturch Hibbert, well, he now has his 3rd goal as well. But it was good interplay by Great Britain into the circle. Sturch Hibbert with a good run along the baseline. And so they now have the lead. And we have 7 minutes until half time. New Zealand are going to have to come from behind again now.
A goal was scored for Team Great Britain by a player wearing number 9, that's Gummy Sturch Hibbert.
Irwin, down the line he goes. It's a good touch that time from Hickson. Hickson back to Irwin. Irwin now looks to try and go round Sturch Hibbert, but he sticks with him all the way. Irwin gained about a metre there into the circle, but well, that's good work across the face of goal. It should be a goal, and it's wide. Well, that was really good play from New Zealand and Gus Nelson. And across the face of goal it went. Got a feeling that was Aidan Bax who missed at the back post. It was indeed. Aidan Bax from the Tauranga Boys College. As from Whangarei. And a mistrap that time from Monteneve. So Hickson again takes it quickly. Goes back to Irwin. Culhane. Fraser. Well, it's let run all the way through and Great Britain pick it up defensively. The captain again doing his job, Max Anderson. Good run on the overlap coming this time from Tully, but they don't go down that path. Came back to Payton. And now Morehouse. Morehouse goes wide. Chance now for Nick Nurse, but he decides to keep possession, plays it back onto the halfway line. Penrose to Anderson. Little bobble off his stick, but plays it immediately back to Penrose. Wiltshire helps it on. Harry Stone steals it back inside the circle and penalised again. I think deemed to have been shielding the ball with his stick was Ali Douglas. Parr plays it back to his captain. 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Great Britain leading this playoff for 5th and 6th place by 2 goals to 1. After New Zealand had taken the lead early in the match, Irwin steps off the sideline, brings it down, gets away from Douglas, but I think it was a touch from Wiltshire. Douglas now is on the overlap. The ball is played to him. It was a little bit short by Tully, but Tully now loops around and picks it up on the side. Great run at the back post coming in as it comes off the pads That was Ted Graves making a run to the back post, but it was just a little bit too close to the keeper for him to be able to get on the end of it. Payton again to the baseline. Good steal, great defense that time from Parr. Parr pushes it forward, and Sam Lintz. That's a great ball through the middle, although Backs, I don't think he'll get there. It's not the clearance that certainly Carlton was hoping it would be. It's gone off his stick for a long corner as he tried to play it over the sideline. So again, a good position for New Zealand to mount an attack. Daniel Tor goes back to Fraser. Koselet now. In fact, it's Culhane, not Koselet. Irwin. That's a good ball. Jumping out the way is Wiltshire. And kept in play. No, it's just gone out, unfortunately, off the stick of Daniel Tor. So just over 2.5 left in the first half. Spreckley throws it to the air again for Great Britain. Watched all the way. Taken down by New Zealand. And another good turn. Trying to play it on the angle, but easily collected by Max Anderson. Robson is going to play it down the line, and Douglas is going to give chase. Culhane comes across him and takes the ball away. Tor again now for New Zealand. Gets it wide to Whittleston. Whittleston, a good pass. Should get the return. No, it was a little bit too far ahead of him. Great defence once more by Max Anderson, reading the play and coming across and cleaning up at the back for Great Britain. Max Anderson, understandably very proud of his Irish roots. Studying finance at the moment at Nottingham University. Comes back to Anderson again. Spreckley. Happy to go back to his captain. Spreckley once more. Neve now. And slight mistake from him. Irwin carries it forward. Great Britain scramble back, covering across. Hickson, good work by him, but dispossessed again by Great Britain. Spreckley on the ball. Just looked like his heel was caught there by Hickson, not intentionally. Morehouse now surrounded by black shirts, nowhere to go. And it's coughed up. Hickson almost had it, but Great Britain somehow managed to keep it. Payton now. Looking to go infield away from Hickson. Feeds it into the path now of Graves. Graves back to Payton. Payton into the circle. And it's going to be a free out to New Zealand. I think Great Britain thought that the least they were going to get was a penalty corner. Spreckley came across and almost took out Monty Neve as he was so determined to bring that ball down. Last 10 seconds of the half. Played square this time by Hewson. Anderson mistrapped, but he will just calmly hold on to the ball. And there goes the hooter for half-time. And it's been a good quarter for Great Britain. After being 1-1 at the end of the first quarter, Sturch Hibbert scores a second for Great Britain. And so at half-time, it's New Zealand 1, Great Britain 2. Well, I'm pleased to say that at half-time we've got a nice breeze blowing across the pitch. You can probably hear it blowing in our effects microphone. So suddenly out of nowhere, this wind has come, and that is going to cool things down dramatically down on the pitch. Just like to acknowledge before the second half gets underway, all those sponsors that have made the live stream of this tournament in 2023 possible. And one of those is Grand Work Interior, multiple award-winning custom interior fittings firm with a presence in Australia, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand, the Philippines and Vietnam. That's Grand Work Interior. And also we have Project Innovations. They're an independent consultancy company providing project management services covering all stages of a construction project, from its inception through construction to completion. And of course, Ong & Ong Design, Management and Engineering. The 360-degree solution is at Ong & Ong. And again, we thank them for their support. Along with Atlas, they've got hockey covered. And we do ask, of course, that if you get the opportunity to support these companies, please do so, or recommend them to anybody, because they're supporting hockey. And I'm presuming if you're tuning into this, you love the sport as well. So Callum Douglas back under the bar. And back under the bar for New Zealand is Jonty Elms. As New Zealand come out, this is the 5th and 6th place playoff. Great Britain leading New Zealand by 1-0. Well, 2-1 actually. I was going to say leading them by 1 goal, but they're leading by 2-1. And I can tell you, in Sultan of Johor Cup history, Great Britain has never lost to New Zealand. They won 3-0 in 2014, 3-2 2018, and 2-0 2019. Will New Zealand be able to rewrite the history books today? The umpires taking their positions. Ole Ingvarsson is strolling back to his side of the pitch. And I think we're just waiting now for the clock to run down. They're all out there about a minute early in position. Should just mention that there are 5 players here for New Zealand from the North Harbour Hockey Club. James Coughlin is the development manager there, so congratulations to him. And he played in the Sultan of Johor Cup right in the early days. And I know he really enjoyed playing in Malaysia, especially at the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup in Ipoh. Good to see former internationals giving back to the sport and inspiring the next generation. Well, we have 8 seconds until the whistle can blow. It is a kind of shame that we can't just get on with things, but there are obviously broadcasters here and they're on a schedule. So Payton plays it back. Rory Penrose gets it under control. Comes wide again to Nick Nurse, back to Penrose. And just wonder whether with the breeze things will just open up a little bit in this second half. Penrose again finds Nurse. Goes forward to Payton. Payton thought about playing it back to Morehouse and then turned and decided to go forward. Stolen away from him though. Good tackle being made that time by Muggleston. Lintz looks to go infield. He loses possession and now runs back to try and get possession back from Morehouse. Harry Stone now. Stone just gets around the back of Ellis Robson. Trying to create some space and get past Daniel Tor. Gets a free hit though. Stone decides to leave it this time and it goes back into the defensive line. Spreckley throws it to the air. Over the head it went that time of Muggleston. Great tackle coming in though. Steals it back. Kosselet has turned it over though. Wiltshire now. Short pass to Morehouse. Another short pass. Down the side it goes and Ali Douglas keeps it in play. Nick Nurse. Into the circle it goes. Deflected away by Fraser. It'll be a long corner to Great Britain on the far side. And Again, it's a little bit frustrating that the balls are just thrown aimlessly onto the pitch rather than to the position where it's meant to be taken. Nurse to the baseline, jinks it in. Douglas turns across the face of goal. Nobody, though, at the penalty spot. Trying to steal it back for Great Britain was Peyton. And New Zealand take the free hit quickly, feeding it forward. It's a good run by Nelson now. Nelson looking for support across the face of goal, but the support coming too late. He'd have just managed to hold it probably a couple of seconds longer. May well have been a great opportunity for New Zealand to level up. It was Tor who made the run through the middle, but he was never going to get there when that ball was played. And now it's Great Britain on the attack again, and it's Harry Markham. Played it across the goal, and Stone fires it in. Good work by Markham, and finished off by Stone. Great Britain have a third, and they now have a 2-goal cushion. Harry Stone finishing that one off with ease. And so another goal for Great Britain, and that is Harry Stone's first of the tournament. So coming into today, they had 8 goal scorers for Great Britain, and we can now tell you that they have 9. And this is 15 goals in the tournament now in this their 5th match. After being held scoreless in the first game against Australia, certainly Great Britain have done well and managed to find goals since then. So New Zealand are going to have to come from behind if they're going to break that hoodoo of never beating Great Britain at the Sultan of Johor Cup. Well, listen to the wind now. It really is blowing quite strongly. And it is a very cooling effect, which is, I have to say, extremely welcome. So it'll be a New Zealand ball from the side. Actually, it's Great Britain ball, my apologies. Just saw Elms making his way towards it. Thought it was given to New Zealand. Penrose goes square to Anderson. Robson. You would feel that Great Britain, with a 2-goal cushion, it should be enough. But there is still a long way to go in this match. Well, the whistle going, and I mean, I think Great Britain would have been happy to have kept playing. It was very late coming. Robson. And Robson penalised. It was good work coming from Hickson. Just now need to see a spark from New Zealand. It's missed that time by Nelson, but it's run through kindly for them. Good work by Elms. Elms trying to get on the reverse stick. Plays it across, but it was lifted. And at the near post, Nelson again had taken up a good position, but the ball played much higher than the position that his stick was in. Gus Nelson, who plays for the Canterbury Beavers in the National Hockey League. Well, that will be New Zealand's ball. Clearly there was danger as those 2 players ran underneath it, and Elms trying to bring that one down, but it just ran away off his stick, and he's frustrated with himself. So the captain again of Great Britain, Anderson, I'm sure he would have loved to have been playing in the medal matches, but as I said, the format this year with 2 pools of 4 meant that losing your first game really had you on the back foot. Great Britain got a win in their second game against South Africa, and then had one of the games of the tournament against Germany where they went down 4-3. And that was certainly a game, if you haven't watched it, I urge you to go back and watch it because it was an absolute belter. Spreckley now goes to Anderson again. Anderson stays calm, deflected to the top of the circle. Sturch Hibbert turning. There's a good deflection coming from Matthew Hewson. And Hewson has really grown in stature as the tournament's gone on. Man who was at Grange Hockey Club in Scotland, now with Surbiton, and in 2022 was one of the Scottish aspiring boys coming through. But he's pledged his allegiance now to England. Coslet unable to bring that one down, so it'll be Great Britain's ball on the far side. We're sitting at 97 goals now in the tournament. This is game 18. Spreckley was put under pressure by Whittleston. Nice turn again coming from Hewson, and well, you could see what he was trying to do, but it was intercepted well by Culhane. Short pass to Fraser. Stone has stolen it. Two Great Britain players. Oh, and running in. It came back off the pads to Felix Tully. And Tully becomes another goal scorer for Great Britain. That's his first of the tournament, and Great Britain beginning to run away with it. A mistake at the back, punished by Great Britain, and that's what you need to do at this level. Punish every mistake that comes. So that now takes us to 98 goals in the tournament. And Great Britain now have 10 scorers. And I'm sure that'll please John Bleeby. There's nothing better as a coach than to see the goals shared around, and that will give him encouragement moving forward. Felix Tully, who went to the Cheadle Hume School, and I was reading somewhere that he was saying that he wouldn't be able to do what he's doing if he hadn't got the support of Sport Aid in the UK, which helped fund him and allows him to get to training and do everything that he has to do to be, or certainly work towards being, an elite athlete at the highest level. And that one just going underneath the stick of Jacob Payton. Now Payton, the right foot is taped on, so I'm just wondering, must have some foot issue there. Good trap by Wiltshire. Good pressure though applied by Hickson. Robson managing to just get away from Whittleston, who was putting immense pressure on him. Great Britain played it out from defence, and again it's good play by Harry Stone. Into the circle. Koselik comes back, clears it over the sideline for New Zealand. And a green card has been issued to one of the New Zealanders. Try and see who it is as he runs away, but I'm afraid they put awnings now over the way, and being a fairly short person, I can't see any more over the top of those, and used to peer through them as Robson makes his way into the circle. It's Stone with another shot, saved again, and the free hit goes New Zealand's way. It was a good save in the end coming from Luke Elms. Just for a moment I thought it was trapped underneath him and we were going to see a penalty corner awarded, but the umpire was ideally placed to see exactly what was going on. Took up a really good position. Parr fed it out wide. He'll get the short pass back now as he runs into a little bit of space. That was good play again from Dylan Muggleston. Brought down inside the circle by Great Britain. Fed forward. Chance to come now for Ali Douglas. Slips it back to Wiltshire. Penrose to Payton. Spreckley. Wiltshire. Good passing again. Graves goes back to Spreckley again. There's Penrose. Pushed it forward to Morehouse, and Morehouse's touch wasn't quite good enough, and it's stolen away by New Zealand, but the pincer movement closing down Culhane He turns it over, and the ball comes back to Ali Douglas now. He starts a move going forward for Great Britain. They've got numbers coming forward now. Wanting the ball out wide. It was a bit of a call from Nick Nurse, but it was good cover actually in the end from New Zealand, aware of the danger and closed that gap. Good work by Neve. Releases it to the top of the circle. Payton pushes it wide to Robson. Is in a position to receive again, but they go back to Penrose. Short to Wiltshire. Swept away. Good steal again coming that time from Jonty Elms. Elms looking to play it forward. Penrose, did he impede the New Zealand player? Well, certainly the way he fell, Aidan Bax was trying to imply that was the case. Umpire, though, not blowing the whistle. Anderson cut in but plays the ball back to Penrose again. Payton back to Penrose as well. Rory Penrose, who played his hockey for the Winchester Hockey Club, now with Loughborough Students. Winchester, of course, in the wonderful county of Hampshire. Nick Nurse. And he just let that one run over the baseline, much to his own frustration, having put in all that work to get there. Nick Nurse comes from the neighbouring county of Dorset. Played for the Bournemouth Hockey Club. And he must love the West Country because he's studying at Exeter University these days. Good work by Sturch Hibbert trying to get the ball off Culhane. Culhane, though, gets over halfway. Sturch Hibbert still with him. Culhane now over the 23. And a free hit given just outside the circle to New Zealand. Well, a chance for them now to pull a goal back and close that gap. It's inside the 23. Ward, who's been relatively quiet tonight, plays the ball into the circle, and a fairly strong challenge that time. And I think Ward is going to get the yellow card. And so he's going to have 5 minutes sitting on the side now. Patrick Ward made his debut in the Pro League against Australia back in April on the Anzac Day fixture. He's going to sit there and contemplate the error of his ways. Over the side it goes, that time off the stick of Hickson. Harry Stone will play it back to the captain, Max Anderson. 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. It's been a good one for Great Britain. 2 goals scored and they're really in the driving seat now. Taken away this time by Nelson. Nelson tries to cut infield, loses his footing and wins a free hit. And certainly Great Britain's coaching staff not too happy with the way they're playing at the moment. John Bleaber, you don't see him shout very often, but he was absolutely yelling at the team then. So you might see a little injection of energy amongst the players. Anderson brings it down again, looks to dribble it forward, forced towards the sideline, but Anderson keeps going up the sideline, away from Koselet. Koselet was appealing for something, not quite sure what, unless he felt Anderson had taken it over the side. Irwin will get a free hit for the challenge from Nurse. And now a card has been issued to the captain, Anderson, I think, for playing the ball after the whistle. So he's got 2 minutes on the side. Will miss the first 30 seconds of the fourth quarter. So Great Britain now are down to 9. That's 9 outfield players and a goalkeeper. Comes wide of Spreckley. Good block again. Hickson trying to turn and play it into the turf and over the stick of Spreckley, but didn't quite go the way he'd hoped. Spreckley in the end leaves it now. Played back by Nick Nurse to Penrose. And that was just too far ahead. So New Zealand ball, we're into the final minute of the third quarter. in this 5th and 6th place playoff. Aiden Frazier had to just get his foot out of the way for that one, but he's going to get it under control down inside the 23. Plays it square. Costlet. And looking to deflect that, but not getting the touch was Gus Nelson. And that will be, I think, the final play of this quarter. As the clock winds down, Penrose will have no time to take the free hit. So we head into the final break. 2 goals in that quarter. Harry Stone getting 1, Felix Tully the other. Means that Great Britain have a 3-goal cushion. It is New Zealand 1, Great Britain 4. The Great Britain players coming out for the final quarter, leading by 4 goals to 1. New Zealand still on the pitch, listening to their coaching staff, and in particular Aaron Ford, their coach, the man who played his hockey for Collegians Hockey Club, along with his dad Ross and his brother Mark. New Zealand need to find a bit of energy. They need to find a spark just to finish this tournament, or at least this match in the final quarter, in a positive way, because they're going to be back here in December, not actually here, but in Malaysia for the Junior World Cup in Kuala Lumpur. And they're in Pool D with Belgium, the Netherlands and Pakistan, and it's going to be a tough group to get out of. Costlet battling away, eventually gets the better of, oh no, Ali Douglas gets the free hit. Wiltshire throws it wide. Payton will keep it in play. Comes back to Nurse. And Great Britain, well, I think they would have learnt a great deal from this tournament. Just the 2 defeats to Australia and Germany, who will be playing in the final today. That's nothing to be ashamed of, especially 4-3 to the Germans when Great Britain very nearly came back in that game and stole a point. And of course, next up will be the bronze medal match, which is India against Pakistan. The opening game of the tournament was that same fixture. That's just run away from par. And in fact, the amazing thing is the 2 medal matches today both ended in draws when the teams met in the pool stage. So who knows which way it's going to go. If you love your hockey, tune in, because I don't think you'll regret it. It's a torn out with the ball from the side. Now he's going to leave it behind for Costlet. And Culhane mistraps that one, and it goes over the side. Weaving his way in from the side, plays it into the circle, and just wide that time. Well, Harry Stone is being allowed to just walk through the midfield of New Zealand. And I I think that John Bleeby will be a little bit annoyed Felix Tully put that one the wrong side of the post. Tully could have had a second. Great Britain could have had a fifth. I can tell you Callum Douglas back in goal for Great Britain as here comes Parr. Parr looks to feed it to Lintz. Good defence again coming back. That was Penrose. It's broken kindly in the circle. Good save. And a back stick, I think, is the call from the umpire. But certainly in a good position that time was Callum Douglas, the goalkeeper from Scotland. Product of the Highland Hockey Youth Academy. Brought down by Monteneve. Payton wins the free hit. Spreckley. Into the air it goes. Coslett brought it down. Back to Fraser. Culhane now in the centre of his circle. Helps it out. New Zealand just looking for something at the moment. Good anticipation again by Max Anderson, but New Zealand get the ball back. Infield it goes, trying to cut a path through towards goal was Tor. And the shot is wide. Robson now, closed down by Tor, but goes back to Penrose. Anderson now. Neve. Neve, who these days is playing his hockey with Reddings, was with the South Barks club. Just wonder if Monty Neve is related to the former MP, Airy Neve, who used to be a politician in the Berkshire area. Man that escaped from the Colditz prison camp. Good tackle coming in from New Zealand, and a chance to come forward again. It was Ward who won the ball back for them. Missed trap there, and it hits the foot. And you just saw the sigh from Daniel Tor. It's just not happening for New Zealand today. But the experience will have done them the world of good, and they'll know what is required. Not just at the Junior World Cup, but going forward. Wiltshire hassling him all the way again is Hickson. Great Britain keep possession. Penrose again beats one, sways past another, cuts infield. Pursued all the way that time by Ward. Ward's work pays dividends as it comes up with Fraser. Hickson now feeds it forward. Tor again. Culhane, run forward from him. Culhane trying to spark something, the captain. And long corner is the call. Oh no, it's a free hit outside the circle, so Culhane, well, he's got to go 5 metres, so he's not going to go into the circle. And that is, well, Sam Lintz, you could see what he was trying to do, but he just got his angles wrong. And it went out a long way before it got close to the goal. Elms, again, looking to close down and cause a bit of havoc amongst the defence of Great Britain. Nelson as well trying to do the same. But Great Britain still managed to get the ball away and find a teammate. Taking a tumble was Neve. And it will be another free hit, but this time against Great Britain. And well, a yellow card has been issued now. And you may well have heard the frustration there. Great Britain feeling it was their free hit. And so looking to play on and then penalised for playing on after the whistle. And that has come off the foot that time of Nurse. So Next 5 minutes, we got 8 minutes left. Up until the 3-minute mark, Great Britain will be down to 10. Free hit to New Zealand again. Elms, and it's a good block, but it'll be another free hit. Hickson pulling wide. Elms goes to Muggleston. Fraser now. Thrown into the air to Culhane, who brings it down into the circle. Deflected wide. That was a good effort in the end from Gus Nelson, but just off target. Couldn't quite get the angle to force a save out of Callum Douglas. I can see the team of India walking behind the Great Britain goal, and Pakistan behind the New Zealand goal to make their way down to the dressing rooms. Mistrapped that time by Max Anderson. Anderson again evades another challenge and is brought back for the free hit for the challenge coming in from Jordan Whittleston. Today started so well for New Zealand with a goal in just the 3rd minute. But that really is where it ended, because they were pegged back a minute later. And then Great Britain have just been very businesslike. They've kept possession well. They've moved the ball well. Squandered a few opportunities, which I'm sure the coach will be disappointed with. Nice ball again from Ellis Robson down the side. Sturch Hibbert into the circle. Sturch Hibbert lays it across the face of goal. And there is another goal for Great Britain, set up by another good run by Johnny Sturch Hibbert. And that is really sums up the way it's gone for Great Britain today. They've moved the ball really well. And it's another goal scored this time by Harry Markham. So he gets a double today. And he is going to end up, without a shadow of a doubt, the leading scorer for Great Britain, the man from Oxford Hawks. So Markham now has 4 for the tournament. Sturch Hibbert has 3. And New Zealand, well, you feel it is all over now with 6 minutes left. 4 goals to be scored. And dare I say, they look a little weary today. So Harry Markham, first time playing in the Sultan of Johor Cup, and he'll have good memories of it, just letting that one run. Good awareness by Ellis Robson, knowing no one was behind him as he stepped forward. So 16 to Great Britain. 5.5 minutes left. And it looks as if New Zealand are going to have to settle for their 5th, 6th place finish. And Great Britain, their first 5th place finish. Culhane. That's a good steal again by Payton. Fraser goes across field to Culhane. And that one goes harmlessly out of play. And New Zealand hockey trying to rebuild as well, because, as I said, these players had to crowdfund to get here. Some of them putting up various events with their hockey clubs and their own organisation to raise funds. And it's a sad day when you see that happening for under-21s teams. And it just shows the state of things there. And maybe Oceania Hockey can try and find a way to help them, because with only Australia and New Zealand as the main players in that area, they need them both to be strong. Penalty corner won by New Zealand. Can they now get some consolation? This is their first penalty corner of the match. And I've got to tell you, New Zealand's penalty corner conversion is the best in the tournament at the moment. They have a 53% conversion rate. Scored 5 from 9 penalty corners. Now, unfortunately for them, Luke Aldred is not out there because, as I mentioned, he's got a fractured jaw. But hopefully they've still got some firepower. Dylan Muggleston lines up at the first battery, and at the second is Aidan Bax. Goes to Muggleston. Muggleston flicks. That's a sharp save that time from Callum Douglas. So New Zealand now go down to 50%, 5 from 10. Muggleston takes the long corner quickly. Oh, dear me. Flicked that one straight into Max Anderson. I'm not sure if it was his head or his shoulder. Certainly the way he's playing on, I would think it was the shoulder. Played wide by Culhane. Hickson. Back to Culhane. Great Britain about to get their full quota back. Into the circle it goes. Good turn and another good save by Callum Douglas. Culhane will bring the clearance down under control. And then just drops the ball back. Comes now to Wilson. Wilson tries to throw it short to the edge of the area. Muggleston wins a free hit. Deflected. And again, the ball was a good one, finding Aidan Bax, but it's a penalty corner again to New Zealand. So they got a second penalty corner now. Is this where they pounce and pull a goal back with just over 3 minutes remaining? Ryan Parr comes running on with the instructions from the coach. And they really do miss Luke Aldred. He was the leading scorer for them with 3 goals from penalty corners. Costlet not on the field of play at the moment. He was the other flicker for them. But this time we see Aidan Bax go to the first battery. Muggleston to the second. Will Bax get his first goal? It goes to Muggleston again, and it's scrambled off the keeper, and it's Lintz who fires it in. So Sam Lintz was first to the rebound. Great Britain couldn't clear it, and Lintz adds a consolation for New Zealand. Sam Lintz gets his second goal of the tournament as well. Joins Gus Nelson on 2. But it is going to be too little too late from the Junior Black Sticks. So now just waiting to restart. Great Britain play it back. They'll be frustrated to have conceded that. Elms again looking to, well, the free hit is gone against Elms. He felt he'd played that onto the Great Britain player's foot. Have to say I agree with him. And again we have 2 balls on the pitch. And I'm not sure that that's going to go over the side, is it, from Elms? Well, that's good. The ball patrol picking it up. Culhane brings it down. Fraser looks to carry it up to halfway, then feeds it into the sunlight. This is better from New Zealand. It was a nice touch at the top of the circle from Nelson. Now Bax shoots and Bax scores. Finally, he gets one. Well, Aidan Bax, I said he deserved one, and he gets one right at the very end. And New Zealand with a very late comeback. Well, would you believe it? Just 2 minutes left. So New Zealand with 2 goals in the last minute make the scoreline look a lot more respectable. Just trying to see John Bleeby, the coach of Great Britain, and what his reaction is to that. I'm sure he will feel that his side has just lost concentration in this last couple of minutes. And I was saying there was no way back at 5-1. Are New Zealand going to make me eat my words? Because if they get another one in the next minute, it's going to be game on for the final minute. Payton couldn't keep that in play, so it will be New Zealand's ball. Now they're saying it was John T. Elms. I'm pretty sure it was Aidan Bax who finished that one. Also judging by the reaction. Well, we'll see a little bit later. Lewis Wiltshire on the side. Just leaving that one behind. Coslet to Culhane. Just over a minute left. Fraser goes to Culhane again. And he goes to Fraser again, and to be honest, Wilson had made a good run into the left-hand corner. Culhane, Wilson still in space. Deflected towards goal. Great Britain lose it inside the circle, trying to get it across, and it's a penalty corner won this time by Gus Nelson. So good work again from New Zealand. Their third penalty corner now. Well, surely they can't make it 5-4. Well, this would be something special if they could. Backs lining up at the first battery. Coslet is on now, and he is at the second battery. I'm sure he will be the preferred option at this penalty corner. Coslet, one of the North Harbour boys who plays for Takapuna Hockey Club. Oh, it's a missed trap. And Hickson trying to get it under control will be penalised, and the clock zips down. It's given away again by Great Britain on halfway. Fraser is still forward. Well, why did he play it straight into the player when he had two players free? And he's won a penalty corner in the end. So well done, Aidan Fraser. What do I know? But it just seemed a crazy situation. He had two players free, one inside the circle, one just outside. And he played it straight into the Great Britain player. But he has won his side another penalty corner with 32 seconds left on the clock. Can New Zealand make it 5-4? Backs lines up at the first battery. Alongside him at the second is Coslet. They went for Coslet last time. It was a missed trap. Will they trap it this time? It's a good trap. Coslet flicks. And it's good work by the first runner. Hobbling back is Tom Sprackley. It'll be a free out for Great Britain. And the clock runs down and they just throw it forward. Sturge Hibbert leaps in the air, tries to play it forward. He's got the ball, will keep it in play, but I'm sure he'll take it down to the corner. It's a free out, and there goes the final hooter. Well, Great Britain have won, and they have claimed fifth spot, but a good spirited comeback in the end from New Zealand, who looked well and truly out of the match. But eventually they found two goals in that final quarter, and Harry Markham got a second as well. So the final score in the 5th and 6th place playoff is New Zealand 3, Great Britain 5.